The Oklahoma Sooners may not have had the success that they want to have on the football field in year one in the SEC, but Greg Sankey is still encouraged by what he believes Oklahoma can be. We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So the Oklahoma Sooners going into year two in the SEC, hoping to have a big bounce back from what they were in 2024, where they were 6-7 and the offense was terrible. And the only reason they won games is because Kip Lewis is amazing. But Greg Sankey is still pretty optimistic about what Oklahoma can be. He said high-level universities where leadership is very interested in both the academic positioning and athletic success. The influence is beyond just the boundaries of the state for national promise. When you look from the moment forward of long-term success, the fundamentals are there. So, Jay, he's very complimentary of what Oklahoma has to offer. And listen, I think we're optimistic too. Now they just got to go show it on the football field.
Exactly what it is. Like you're seeing some success from some of the other programs. And of course, softball does what it does best. It continues to be a problem for everybody, even being super young. But overall, Oklahoma did really good in the SEC this year. You know, besides football, the only place where the struggle was, besides owning the entire state of Alabama right now, having that large ownership stake really does help us with the confidence boost going into next season. But no, and he's right. I mean, he even talked about, he talked about how from those fundamentals, he pointed out the ups and downs of the other last couple of teams that joined the SEC in Texas A&M and Missouri, and how they start, both of them did pretty well to start and kind of went down and then worked their way back up. So they got the ebbs and flows, and that it's like impossible for anybody to just always be at the top, the food chain. I mean, heck, Alabama struggled in the early 2000s. They had their moment before they had Nick Saban. And so, it is what it is. And so for Oklahoma, it's time to show up. It's time to show that you should be here. And they'll have that. And I like the fact that Sankey pointed that out. And you can tell he believes in the leadership of not only Joe Castiglione, who's now retiring, but also Brent Venables. He even said, I think the leadership at football that Brent Venables provides, the fundamentals are there. To me, that tells you that the breaks weren't there for you. You didn't get everything didn't break the way you wanted, but the foundation and the fundamentals of how you wanted to get to that point, it's there. Now you're going to get some good breaks because it goes back and forth. Take those good breaks, capitalize on it. He expects Oklahoma to be actually a really good team going forward.
And a lot of this comes from the fact that Oklahoma is a blue blood program. They have had as much success as just about anybody in college football over the course of the history of college football. Over the last 25 years, okay, they got the one national title only, but a bevy of conference championships. Over the last 40 years, 50 years, they've got a bunch of national championships, a bunch of Heisman winners, a bunch of All-Americans, and a bunch of dudes that played at the NFL level too. So this is a program that is one of the best programs in college football. 2 6-7 seasons, that doesn't tell the whole story. The record doesn't tell the whole story about what happened in those seasons that led to those records. They got to win. They got to go prove it, though. They've got to go turn and flip the script on what everybody believes Oklahoma is right now. And, man, listen, again, I feel optimistic they're going to do it. It's just a matter of the pieces coming together. Jay, you talked about the breaks. Last year, Oklahoma got no breaks. Like,
zero.
Pretty much everything that could go wrong on the offensive side of the ball went wrong. The only thing that went right for you was in the Alabama game offensively. And that was about it. And still, you needed a Kip 6 and an Eli Bowen interception that puts you right inside the 10 to be able to pull out an upset victory over Alabama. You had to get a break. I guess the one break you did get, again, it was on defense in the Ryan Williams, Eli Bowen end zone thing where they called him for a penalty that probably shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yep.
That was about it. Like, that was about the only break you got. and it came in your biggest win of the year. So yeah, man, it's time for the regression to the mean happen. Oklahoma to catch all the breaks this year and just go win it all. Just go win it all. Like, why settle for just contending, or why settle for just the playoff? Just go contend and go win it all.
Yeah, let's just sound crazy here. Championship or bust, baby. Let's go.
Why not? It's Oklahoma, man. Like, I know it's crazy to say that. And listen, I'm not one that's ever going to hold everybody's feet to the fire if they don't win a championship. But if you're Oklahoma, you should really be following that, modem of operation. Like, we win championships at Oklahoma. And
I get so many fans are going to be like, hey, y'all, calm down, slow down there and everything. Yeah, sure. I get it. But at the same time, like you said, why go for one? We need to be like the Oklahoma City Thunder in this one. As Sam Presti said, when we make it to the playoffs, we don't just want to just go there and say we've been there once. We want to arrive. That way you're expecting us there every single year going forward. Yeah. And I think Oklahoma has the opportunity to be able to do that. And so I do like, again, Greg Sankey, he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's looking at. He knows he can recognize dysfunction over functional. Now, if he felt like we were dysfunctional, I don't think he would have said anything. He probably would have been like, yeah, it's just great to have Oklahoma here in the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the best way to, not get busted or get pushed to make a statement that you probably don't want to make. But I mean, it's a simple way of doing it. And that's most likely what he would have done if he actually was like thinking that, a little questionable here, but no, I think he does see it. A lot of people do see it. We're seeing all of the talking heads pointing out those things about Brent Venables. And so because of that, that's the expectation, is that, Oklahoma should be able to bounce back and move forward exactly where they need to be.
Oklahoma's going to be Oklahoma. Any talk about Oklahoma becoming the new Nebraska or falling down to middle of the pack in the SEC, like, that's not realistic. That's just not.
No.
So, like, will they go win it all this year? Probably not.
Probably not. But that's okay.
But they're going to be much better than what they were last year. And they're going to remind everybody just what Oklahoma football is all about. And yes, Greg Sankey is going to talk positively about all of his programs because that's his job. His job is to protect the brands, and the brands are the programs. And so he's going to talk positively, but he's definitely not going to say something negative. But he didn't have to say what he said here.
Exactly. He could have passed on it.
He could have said anything else. But the foundational elements to be successful are there at the University of Oklahoma. Now it's just all has to come together. And if it all comes together, watch out, college football world.
Watch out. I think Oklahoma's in a position to be able to do that. I think we've talked about this. We're beating the drum every day up until SEC Media Days, and then you're going to have fall camp finally show up to where we can talk about it, but we're going to beat that drum. There's a lot of things about the fundamentals and the foundation of that's been built to be excited about. As I say very often, you can tell that this staff really likes the recruits that they brought in, and that's who they focus so much on. That's the foundation and the bedrock of the squad, and I think that that's going to lead to some success coming down the line. So keep your eyes open, guys. I think that's going to be there.
And we'll see if we can get some more SEC opinions on Oklahoma at SEC Media Days, and some national opinions, because there are going to be a lot of national observers there as well. And just get their candid thoughts about the Oklahoma Sooners next week in Atlanta. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer Sooner.
Good job, Papa Sankey, reminding everybody who we are.